Welcome to the Love Story Podcast. I'm your host, Ashley Green, where we are capturing the magic of every love story. Well, welcome to the Love Story Podcast. We have the Vouks today. So do you guys want to introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Lisa Vouk.
And I'm Frank Vouk.
Okay, so we were just kind of talking a little bit about what to expect with the Love Story Podcast. Obviously, you guys are in love.
Oh, yes.
Okay, perfect. So we'll start at the very beginning. How long have you guys been together?
35 years.
Okay. Is that in its entirety or married?
That's in its entirety.
Okay. How long have you been married for?
28 and a half years.
Yeah.
Okay. So if you can put your brains back into 35 years ago, how did you guys meet?
Okay, it's kind of funny. So I moved here 35 years ago to work for Herberger's corporate office.
Okay. And where did you move from?
I didn't know a soul. From Montana.
Okay. Oh.
I didn't know a soul, and I was 1,000 miles away from everybody that I know.
Mm-hmm.
And there was a bunch of women that moved here around the same time. We were all single. So we decided we needed to find some dates because none of us had any dates in months.
Okay.
And I was typically the designated driver for that group.
Mm-hmm.
But that particular night, I was drinking Long Island iced teas. And I started complaining about the fact that all the guys in all the bars, because this was a big college town, were wearing Girbaud jeans and loafers.
Okay. Girbaud jeans are?
Were a big trendy
Okay. Just like
brand name jean at the
okay,
time.
fancy schmancy.
Fancy schmancy
And you
jeans.
working for Herberger?
And I worked for Herberger's,
yeah.
and I was a buyer in the junior department.
Okay.
And this was in 1990.
Okay.
Yeah. And
Grunge
so
era.
after a few Long Island iced teas and a few different bar hopping, we ended up
And is this in St. Cloud
It
that
was
you were
in
born?
St. Cloud,
Okay, so
yes.
downtown St. Cloud?
downtown St. Cloud, and then we ended up out in White Park.
Oh, okay. So
And then
what's
we went to a bar that I would never go to if I hadn't
Okay.
been.
So this is 1990. So this would have been, I moved to St. Cloud many, many years later. So I'm a transplant from Duluth to here. So what's kind of the landscape like of like St. Cloud at that time? If you're talking Waite Park and you're talking, so this is, I mean, we're within a 5-mile radius of
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah.
But downtown, is it similar to what it looks like now as it did then?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The red
Okay.
carpet, the press.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that burnt
Yeah.
down
Yeah.
recently.
We started the night at DB Searles, which isn't
Yes.
there anymore, but Searles building is there. We went to Bravo Burrito, which was right next door at the time.
Downtown, yes.
Downtown.
Okay.
Then we
Mike and Sam
wandered
Marty.
on out to Antone's. And then on the
Oh.
way back into town from Antone's, there was a brand new place in Waite Park.
She asked about background of what St. Cloud looked like.
Yeah.
There was also that crazy place at Midtown Square, DeSoto's.
DeSoto's.
That was a
Okay.
hangout for young people, too. That was a lot of fun.
They had full-size cars and classic cars and stuff
Ah,
in there. It was a
okay.
cool place.
Anyway, just get the vibe of the bar
Yeah.
scene when you're in your 20s.
Right.
It's fun.
It was fun.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
This new place was in Waite Park called New Edition Nightclub.
Whereabouts would that have been
And now
located?
it's a Chinese buffet restaurant right on the corner
Oh,
of
okay.
Division and 10th. Is that the right street?
I think it's 10th, yeah.
Yes.
Anyway,
It's the China Star now.
Okay, so there used to be a Hoppin' Noon
Hoppin'
nightclub.
Noon there.
Okay.
so never would have gone there. So coming from Montana, I loved classic rock. I loved country
Okay.
music. I loved all music, except I wasn't a big fan of rap, and that's what was playing in there that night.
Okay.
This place had black lights everywhere, laser flying around,
Uh-huh.
this heavy beat bass music,
Yeah.
but the black lights were kind of cool.
It's awful.
You could, it made all the women's faces glow depending on the makeup you were wearing.
Sure.
And the shirt, or the top that you were wearing. Sometimes the black light you could kind of see through them. It was
Yeah.
really
They knew what
interesting
they were doing
place.
over there.
Yeah, it was
Yeah,
an
I
interesting
think so.
place.
And coming from Montana, you're like, what is this
Like,
place?
what are we doing here?
Yeah.
And all my
And how
friends
old
were
were you?
looking
You were in your
around.
20s?
25. All my friends were looking around at the people, and you could see through that woman's shirt, and I was looking at the floor, looking for a pair of cowboy boots. I just
Okay.
said, really, I haven't seen a single cute guy in a nice pair of cowboy boots since I moved here. And I don't know if maybe within 30 minutes, a pair of gray snakeskin boots went walking by.
Uh-huh.
And so I jumped off my bar stool and I ran after him. And I grabbed him by the back of his coat and said, "Are you from Montana?"
And I was also 25, and I said, I'm from wherever you want, honey.
That's the line. Yep.
And that's how we met.
Now, how I got there to
Yes.
that bar that night.
And are you from Montana?
No,
Got
I'm
it.
from St. Stephen, Minnesota.
Okay.
So just a little ways away.
Yeah.
Small town. Grew up on a chicken farm, but helped on the dairy farm in my uncle's place. I mean, I'm a redneck. And redneck hick. So I wore jeans and cowboy boots and cowboy hats in high school. Never had a horse, but I have a plowboy. I grew
Yeah.
up on a tractor, not
You needed
not
something
a
while you
horse.
were,
Yeah.
kicking around in
But
chicken poop.
cowboy attire is a feeling, not necessarily a job. So anyway, I had recently broken up with a gal that I was going with, and we had just started working for the St. Cloud Fire Department.
Okay.
And they used to have the Fireman's Ball. So
Oh, yes.
it was a fundraiser thing, and every year they'd have a Fireman's Ball, and they were having it out at the Delwyn, which was a big, kind of like a dance hall out by St. Joe. It's now gone too. So we were at the Fireman's Ball was at the Delwyn, and I was single, not feeling too happy about it, and I'm hanging out with my sisters. So we're at the Fireman's Ball. Well, the Fireman's Ball wasn't quite as exciting as we thought it might be.
Okay.
Let's head towards St. Cloud. Let's go
Yeah.
bar hopping. So we jumped back in the car, and with my sister, at least one, maybe two, I can't remember.
How many siblings do you have?
Oh, a lot. I got
Okay.
5 sisters and 3 brothers.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
the oldest of 10.
Okay.
So anyway, so we get in the car and we head toward. Okay, first bar we see, New Edition nightclub. Yeah, let's go check that out. I heard it's pretty wild. So that we stopped there, and I'm in jeans and cowboy boots and a long duster, and I walk in and we're walking
Stick
around.
out like a sore thumb.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. Yeah, a college bar. I look kind of weird.
Yeah.
But anyway, walked by. She saw my boots, grabbed me by the back of the collar. I'm from anywhere you want me to be, honey. So we started talking a little bit, but the place was so loud,
Yeah.
and it had a basement too. So let's go down to the basement where we can hear each other talk. And now you can pick it up from here.
Yes. And I said, yeah, that's a good idea. So I went back to where all my friends were at the bar, and they said, we've all had enough to drink and we need food, and so we're leaving. And I'm like, oh, okay. And we
Yeah,
left.
Bye. Oh, you left?
Yeah, because I forgot that I told him that like 5 minutes before.
She had more than one Long Island iced tea.
God,
that night,
that's right.
apparently.
That's right. Back
Yeah.
to the Long Islands.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Man of your dreams goes walking by.
So we left. We went, got something to eat, and we went back to our apartment.
and
So
now,
I go
Frank, you're down in
downstairs.
the basement.
Yeah, I'm downstairs. I probably went to the bathroom first, and then I'm looking around. Where the hell did she go?
Oh. Oh, tiny little heartbreak.
Yeah. Yeah. She ghosted me.
She ghosted
blew
you
me off
before.
already.
Yeah, before ghosting was the thing.
Right, exactly. Yeah, yeah. So that wasn't too cool.
Yeah.
Well, and it was funny because his sister told me after the fact that they were standing down there at the bar, and she kept saying, we need to leave. And he's like, no, she said she'd come down here. And she's like, she lied to you. And he goes, no, I don't think she would. And she's like, you don't even know her.
Oh no.
So I get home with my friends a whole bunch of us lived in the same apartment complex over on the east side of St. Cloud. And I'm getting ready to flop into bed, and my phone rings, and it's one of my friends. And she goes, by the way, what happened to that guy you were talking to? And I went, oh my God.
Yeah.
I was supposed to go downstairs and talk to him, and I forgot about him. So the next day, I tried to talk all those same friends into going back there, thinking maybe that's where he hung out.
Because this would have been like a Friday night and Saturday night?
Yeah.
Okay.
And nobody wanted to go out. They were all hungover.
Yeah.
Nobody wanted to do that. And I wasn't going to go by myself, so I just didn't go. Mm-hmm. And then I found out that he did.
I
back.
felt the same way.
Yeah.
I got to go back there tomorrow
Yeah.
night because that's where I found her. She
Yeah.
must go hang out there. So I went back the next night, probably by myself.
I was going to say, with who? Your sisters or, yeah.
No, just myself.
Just- okay.
I'm looking all over for her. I can't find her. Ah, man. So that was disappointing. Now, how am I going to find this girl?
Yeah.
Well,
And this is
town ain't
pre-social
that big.
media.
I can
This is,
keep hitting the bars, and maybe someday I'll run into her.
Yeah.
Because she nearly caught my eye.
Did she? So you've got this image of little Lisa burned into your brain, and you're just like looking around. Okay.
And we
And-
didn't talk long enough to even get in each other's name or anything. Yeah.
He knew I was from Montana,
Yeah,
and,
that's
and he
somehow.
only told me one thing about him,
Okay.
and I'll let him tell you what he told me because it's
Well, at 25 and you're single and, play the hero card. Yeah, well, I'm a firefighter for the city of St. Cloud.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah. So that's all I told her.
So that's
I told
all
her what I did.
That's all I knew. He's a firefighter for the city of St. Cloud. So all of my
Swoon.
friends and I were scheming to how I can meet this guy.
Start a fire, obviously.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we all lived in the same apartment complex. And so we were like, well, if we just start a small kitchen fire, a different apartment each day
Yes.
until he shows up. I mean,
Yes.
he has to work eventually.
Yes.
I didn't know there was multiple fire stations and
Yeah.
territories and all that. Well, we didn't start any fires. We just kind of went, okay.
Arson in the
whatever.
name of love, though, is quite
know, it was
romantic.
kind of
yeah.
right.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to get you very far in court.
So about 2 weeks later, everybody's talking about, let's go out for happy hour. Let's do this. Let's do that. And my one girlfriend and I both said, hey, you know what? We have done nothing but party since we moved here. And we need to get back into doing something a little bit healthier. So we're going to join a gym.
Okay.
So there was a gym in Midtown Square at
Yep.
the time.
Okay.
Was it called Midtown? I don't remember what.
Northland Fitness Center.
And so her and I went there that night after work. And we said to everybody, we'll go to happy hour, but we're going to go work out
Yeah.
first.
Yep.
So we went and joined the gym, and we're sitting there waiting for our aerobics class to start.
When I started in the fire department, we didn't have a lot of workout equipment there, so I joined a gym, Northland Fitness Center. My shift was such, I worked 24 hours, I'd get off in the morning, and I would go to the gym in the morning. And I went to Northland Fitness Center. Not every morning, every other morning or so. Okay, back to you.
Yeah. So we go to the gym. We're sitting there waiting for our class to start.
Yep. And this is in the afternoon.
in the evening.
Yeah, yeah.
After work,
Yep,
after we got
yep.
off work, so 5:30ish.
Waiting for happy hour. Just got to do a quick workout.
And my friend says to me, "Don't look right now, but there's a guy over by the drinking fountain staring at us." So I look,
Don't
and
look.
I go, "I think that's the guy from a couple weeks ago." And she goes, "Well, I wasn't with you a couple weeks ago, so I wouldn't know. Are you sure?"
Yes.
I look again. I don't know, maybe not.
And no cowboy boots, no jeans.
he's just
no
wearing
cowboy
gym
hat.
shorts
Yeah.
and a t-shirt, right?
Yeah.
Sweats or something.
And I'm
yeah.
looking again, and so finally I just stopped looking at him, and she goes, "Well, whoever he is, he's walking over here right now." And as I turn, he's now standing right next to me,
Yes.
and he goes, "Hey, were you at New Edition nightclub a couple weeks ago?" And I go, "Yeah, I was." And he goes, "What happened to you?" And I go, "Sorry about that. We went to get something to eat."
Yes, I
And
got
so
distracted.
he said, "Well, can I get your number?" And I'm like, "Well, what are you going to write it on?" "Oh, I'll remember it. Just give me your number." Okay. So I gave
Okay.
him my number, and then my class was starting, and I'm like, "I got to go. See
Yeah.
ya." And I left.
Yeah.
I never went to like I said, I never went to Northland in the evening, but
Yeah.
that night, for some reason, I did. I don't know. So this whole story must be some kind of divine intervention
Yes.
to get us together.
Yeah.
'Cause I never went. That was the only time I ever went there in the evening, and it happened to be that night, the first time she was
Yeah.
there.
And he told me afterwards that he ran down to his locker repeating my number the whole entire way because he never remembers
Because I
things.
can't remember anything.
But I do like the I'll remember it.
I'll remember. Yeah, he was very confident about it. And so that was on, I remember that was on a Thursday. And then that weekend rolled around, and my girlfriends and I had gone out again. And I came home, and I had a message on my answering machine.
Answering machine. Yeah.
An actual
Yes,
answering machine,
yeah.
right?
From a landline.
"Hi, this is Frank, the firefighter. Can you give me a call? I'm working at the station tonight, but I'm working dispatch, so I'm up all night, so it doesn't matter what time you get in, you can give me a call." So I did. I called
Yeah.
him, and we talked for a really long time.
Yeah.
And he asked me if I wanted to go to a concert the next night. He had 2 tickets. I'm
To
like,
what
"Sure."
concert?
The Forrester Sisters, which was
Okay.
a classic country women's group. They were playing at St. Cloud State. So we went to that concert the next night. We had a great time. It was really, really fun. And I'm like, this is a super nice guy. Yeah. He dropped me off at the door. He didn't even kiss me goodnight. Asked me
Okay.
if he could see me again. He was very much a gentleman.
Did you hold hands? Was there?
I think so.
Okay.
Probably. yeah.
Okay.
Probably.
Okay.
And then the next day when I got to my office, later in the day, the receptionist at the corporate office called me that I had flowers. And there was just a small little thing of flowers that said I had a great time, Frank.
Oh.
Somebody said, "Oh, you finally know his name." And I go, "Yeah, but I don't know what his last name is."
Well,
And-
yeah. How are you going to scribble Lisa Hart's,
Yeah, right.
Frank, whatever?
Right.
Yeah. Future Mrs. Lisa.
No idea what his last
yeah.
name was. Like, we did not gather a lot of information about
No.
each other at all. We were just kind of, and I'm describing him, and I'm talking about the fact that he's a firefighter, and his name is Frank. And over the cubicle wall, this voice says, Vouk. And I go, what? And one of the gals that was working at corporate office goes, his name is Frank Vouk. I said, how do you know that?
Uh-huh.
I grew up across the street from him.
Oh.
Okay. So, yeah.
So then she figured out my name.
Yeah. So she can look you up in the phone book.
Right.
Yeah. That's
Yeah.
about all you can do with that
Right.
name at that time.
Exactly. Yeah. I could look him up in the phone book and find
Yeah.
out where he lived and what his number was. But yeah, that's kind of the whole how we met thing. And like all good stories, it wasn't all perfect.
Right.
Like we met, we dated for a little while, then we broke up.
Mm-hmm.
And we didn't talk to each other for a while. And then we both, because we loved country music and
Yeah.
things like that, ended up at WeFest.
Mm-hmm.
And we reconnected at WeFest.
Yeah. Bumped into each other.
Bumped
from
into
across-
each other, had a lot of fun with all of our, friends that we both knew. Got back together again.
They showed up with a pop-up camper, her and her friends, and they had no idea
know how
what
to-
they were doing.
We didn't know how to camp.
God.
I'm surprised
Okay.
we didn't get into an accident hauling that thing up the highway
Yeah.
because none of us knew how to pull a trailer either, but we did.
So I don't know, somebody that I was with, some guy or two, and myself. Then we can help you. We'll set it up for you.
Yeah. And then you turn around and you're like, oh, it's Lisa.
Exactly.
All right, let's talk vodka. Not the boring, flavorless kind you panic buy before a party, but something with actual personality. Norman's Shuck Vodka from Garden State Distillery. This stuff is distilled in small batches in Toms River, New Jersey, and it's infused with oysters, seaweed, and sea salt. Basically, the Jersey Shore in a glass, minus the spray tans. They call it a dirty martini in a bottle, and they're not wrong. It's got this subtle salty brine, a little ocean breeze vibe, and a smooth finish with just a hint of pepper. Honestly, it makes your Bloody Marys, oyster shooters, and even your basic vodka sodas taste like you know what you're doing. Oh, and seafood? Forget it. This vodka was born to sit next to a platter of oysters. And because I negotiated like the feisty podcast host I am, you get 15% off anything from Garden State Distillery. Yep. The highest discount out there, exclusively for my listeners. Just use code LOVESTORY at gardenstatedistillery.com. You're welcome. Let's be honest. Most cookies out there are either too basic or too bougie, but Molly B's somehow nailed the balance. Bold, fun, and unforgettable cookies that actually taste as good as they sound. We're talking flavors like Be Cordial with chocolate and cherry chunks, Big Joe with fresh ground coffee and a hint of rum, Boba Doodles with Snickerdoodle and Boba Pearls, and everybody's favorite train wreck, the Hot Mess, with mango, white chocolate, and crushed hot Cheetos on top. I know, it sounds unhinged, but trust me, one bite and you'll be hooked. Molly's a single mom from Alaska who turned her kitchen experiments into a full-blown national sensation. Featured on Food Network, Martha Stewart Living, and even at the Grammy Awards. These cookies are indulgent, surprising, and absolutely addictive. And because I've got the hookup, you get 10% off your order. Yes, the highest discount they offer when you use my code LOVESTORY at mollybees.com. Stock up for gifts, hoard them for yourself, or both. No judgment here.
So when you were at the gym, somehow managed to get there, and you look over, first thought in your brain is that, are you like, that's the one? Or were you like, oh, I think that's the one?
Oh, I knew it
Yeah.
exactly.
Yep.
That
That's
was her.
Yep.
Where the heck did she go? I'm gonna go over there and what happened to you? Why did you not come and meet me downstairs?
Yeah.
But I was a lot nicer than that.
Yes,
you
luckily.
were very nice.
So how long did you guys date before you broke up for a little bit?
I think 3 or 4 months was all the first
Yeah,
time.
Okay.
For the first break, we were on a break.
Hey, Ross.
The first time we had a couple of breaks.
Yeah.
Then we dated for quite a while, and then we broke up again. Mm-hmm. And I told him I never wanted to see him again.
Ooh.
Don't darken my doorstep, basically.
Yeah.
I was pretty stubborn and very strong-willed, and I didn't like that. I asked him a question and he wasn't totally truthful, so I just said,
Yeah. Be gone.
Be
We're
gone.
done. Mm-hmm.
Sometimes you don't have to know all the truth.
Right.
It's not a lie. It's just
Yeah.
Right.
perhaps an
Yeah.
omission of the whole story.
And I dated some other guys over, probably, I don't know, a year, probably close to a year.
So you started dating at 25, and then at what age are you now? You don't come back around these parts, and then you
Probably
start.
28, 27, something like that.
Okay, so
couple
dated for a
years.
couple
Yeah, it
years,
was a
couple of
couple years.
breaks, dated
Yeah.
a couple other guys.
And I had a very good relationship with the two gentlemen that were my boss and his boss above me at Herberger's. And one of them, the top guy, had told my parents when I moved here, don't worry about her, we'll take care of her. I know she's
Okay.
a long way from home. He was just such a sweet man. And he came to talk to me because Herberger's was doing a bus trip to the Twins game.
Okay.
And he really wanted to go, but his wife didn't. And he said, are you going by yourself? Because then I'll have somebody to hang out with and talk. And
Yeah.
I'm like, well, actually, I asked this guy that I'm dating. And he goes, oh, is it Mr. Pizza and Beer, which is what he used to call Frank.
Okay.
And I said, no, I don't.
I'm
speak
so
to-
over that guy.
I don't talk to him anymore. I don't, so whatever. So I said, but you can still sit with us.
Yeah.
So we did. He sat with me and this guy. And the next day, he came into my office and he said, he's a nice guy, but he's not the one.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, how do you know that he's
Yeah.
not the one,
Yeah.
And he goes, I don't know. I don't normally interfere in people's lives.
Ooh.
He goes, but I just really feel like I wanted to make sure you knew he's not it.
Yeah.
And he goes, why don't you talk to Mr. Pizza and Beer anymore? And he started asking me, like, what happened? And,
Yeah.
why are you so angry? And have you ever thought about forgiving him?
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
And this is coming from a man?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
And he
I'm
sa-
impressed.
Yeah. And he said to me, Lisa, people make mistakes.
Mm-hmm.
And even if you never get back together with him, you should forgive him.
Mm-hmm.
And because there was clearly something about him that you really liked.
Mm-hmm.
And people like that should be in your life, even if it's
Wow.
just as a friend.
Wow.
And I was like, I don't know, Bob,
Yeah.
I'll think about it.
Yeah.
And Bob had a heart attack that night and died.
Oh my God. Okay. I just got full body chills.
Yeah.
Ooh.
And
How old is he?
he was
Or
in
was
his
he?
50s.
Wow.
Yeah. And very much a fatherly figure
Yeah.
kind of to me as a young professional coming up and that. And I couldn't stop thinking about what he had said to
Yeah.
me. And about 2 weeks goes by. I've been to Bob's funeral. I've done all the stuff I need to do, for grieving and whatever. And my girlfriends and I went out again on a Friday night downtown, went to the red carpet. And I ran
who
in-
do you see?
I ran into his sister.
Okay. Okay.
And she said, how have you been?
Yeah.
And I said, not good.
Yeah.
And here's why.
Yeah.
And this is what he said to me.
But right.
And I told her all about
yeah.
Bob. And she said, oh my God, you need to call my brother. He is not dating anybody. You should call him. I said, I don't want to date him.
Yeah.
And she said, call him anyway. So I did.
Mm-hmm.
And he was working at the fire station that night. And he was dispatched. So we talked for a really long time. And decided that, you know what? I said, let's just try to be friends. I don't want to hate you anymore.
Yeah.
Let's just be friends.
Life is too short.
Mhm.
And Bob's
Literally
yeah.
said, give him another chance.
Mm-hmm.
So we did. We did stuff together. We liked all the same things,
Yeah.
And then several people in our lives were getting married. A lot of his cousins, because he has a huge family. And he would call me and he'd say, my cousin's getting married. You want to be my plus one to the wedding? Sure.
Yeah. We're
And
just
we
friends.
go and we have a
Sure.
good time.
Yeah. Mhm.
And then one of his cousins said to me, are you guys back together or are you just his wedding date? And I'm like, no, I think I'm just his wedding date. We're not really
Yeah.
back together.
She's my friend who's a girl.
Yep.
That was said a lot.
Yeah.
Not my girlfriend. She's my friend who's a girl.
Yep.
And
I am.
then
Yep.
Both
friends.
of us were going to be having our 10-year class reunion
'Kay.
that year. So we would have been 28.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he asked me if I would go to his class reunion with him.
Uh-huh.
And I said, yes, but only if you go to Montana and go to mine with me.
Yep.
And he goes, well, I guess I could do that.
Well,
So we
it's
did.
sounding an awful lot like a romance.
Yes, right?
So yeah,
And everybody at the class reunion was like, are you
We're
guys,
dating, but
are you-
wouldn't
are
admit
you guys
it.
dating? No,
Yes.
no, we're not dating.
we used to, and then
Yeah.
blah blah blah. Yeah.
And then his sister was getting married, and one of his best friends was getting married, and I was going to be his, wedding date again.
yes.
And my brother called me to tell me that he was going to get married
And now you
on
can
the same
finally-
weekend that his
Oh.
sister was going to get married. And I was like, oh, crap.
What are we gonna do?
Yeah, so we went to his best friend's wedding together, and he said to me, have you been dating anybody else? And I'm like, no. You? No. Would you ever want to give this another try? I was like, well, yeah, maybe I would.
Yeah.
So I think it was right around then, because then I had to leave. I had to go to Los Angeles for market, and then I was flying to Montana from there for my brother's wedding. He stayed here for his sister's wedding, and when we came back, we were like, okay, well, let's try this again and see what happens.
So this is mid-90s ish.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay, so now your side of things, she says, be gone, we're done here. And what's this time in your life like? She's been off kind of trying to date, kind of whatever. You didn't date anybody, did date people?
Not seriously at
Yeah.
all, you know. But and I want to get something straight. I never cheated on her.
Oh, yeah.
That's not what
Yeah.
the breakup
No,
That
yeah,
was.
wasn't what it was.
That wasn't what,
Just
why
stubborn
we quit.
Lisa being mad about something that you said or
I'm
didn't
just
say.
being
and-
dumb
yeah.
because
Yeah.
I'm a dumb 20-something and
Yeah.
wouldn't commit.
Yep.
Anyway, so I lived on top of Howie's Corner Bar in St. Stephen.
And in St. Stephen. Okay,
Yeah.
so that's still where it is today?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. So I lived up there in an apartment, and I was, crying in my beer all the time. I didn't make the best choices in the world, but
Sure.
but I held out hope that someday maybe we would get back together.
Okay, so you were just kind of waiting and hoping. And okay.
Yeah.
So then when she calls, did your sister say, hey, I bumped into Lisa, I want her to call you? Or did you
I
call
do
her?
not recall if my sister told
Yeah,
me
I
that.
don't know that she did, because I think it was the next day that I called you.
Okay.
Yeah, I didn't wait a whole long time after, because I kind of felt like, okay, first Bob, now I've run into his sister. Like,
Yeah.
maybe the universe is trying to tell me
Yeah,
something.
the universe is trying to tell you
Yeah.
something. Every step of the way, you bump into this guy in cowboy boots after you've been complaining there's nobody in cowboy boots. Bump into him at the gym after you ditched him. And then, yeah, one thing after another. The universe is trying to tell you something. Okay,
Yeah,
so
totally.
she calls you out of the blue. Do we have caller ID at this point? Do you see her number and your heart skips a beat? Or is it just like, ugh, God,
I don't think there was caller ID.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. I
Okay.
think you just had to answer the phone when it
sure,
rang.
and see what
and
happens.
see what happens.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So she calls and she says, hey, Frank, it's Lisa. And you're just like,
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. Yeah.
okay, shot to the heart.
But got to play it cool.
Yeah, well, of course.
Yeah, I suppose we can go out.
Sure, whatever. Be my wedding date. Okay, so now as you guys are officially starting to date again, family is like, yay, or is family like, again, Lisa?
You know, it's really weird. From my side, because my family's so far away,
Yes.
I really liked him from the beginning. I did not want to say anything to my parents or anybody to give them ammunition against him. So I didn't tell him about all the breakups
Yeah.
and the different things and why I was mad. I didn't tell him any of that. So as far as they knew, he was just a nice guy.
Yeah.
So when we got back together, they were like, yeah, okay, whatever.
Yeah.
We went out to Montana, and my dad is a stereotypical rancher,
Okay.
Carhartt jacket, jeans, boots, cowboy hat, leather gloves, the whole shebang. And am I telling the story about the horse? So we go
Okay.
down to the barns to ride horses, and my dad and my brother are down there saddling up some horses for us. And my dad says to me, you can't ride horses in tennis shoes. You'll have bruises all over the inside of your legs from the stirrups. Go put on a pair of boots. You know
Okay.
better. I'm like, okay.
Fine.
Up to the house I go to get a pair of boots, and when I'm pulling the boots on, my sister-in-law comments that one of the horses is down there running around the corral. And I said, no, Frank's riding Rusty. And she said, there's nobody on
Ooh.
that horse.
Okay.
And by the time I get down there, my dad and my brother are absolutely doubled over the fence laughing so hard. And my dad turns to me and said, where did you find this drugstore cowboy?
Hey, I never claimed to be a horseman. I never said I knew how to ride, but they put me up on that horse.
Well, you looked the part, so they were like,
Well,
yeah, give
yeah,
it a go.
yeah.
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 They put me up on that horse, and they had at the time they had a barn close by where I was riding, and it was a sheep barn. Sheep barns are shorter than cow or horse barns. That horse knew how to rub me off. He went in one door, and I knew this was going to look and be bad. I had to lay down on the side of this horse. My elbow was banging off the rafters as
yeah.
he's going through the barn. Out the other, there's another big door open. So that horse knew exactly what he was doing. He rubbed this stupid greenhorn off. And I'm laughing as I'm trying to swing my leg off that horse and fall down on the ground, and he comes out the other end. No, Frank isn't on the horse anymore. And those guys are laughing.
They had so much fun with that.
And I'm laughing because I knew how stupid it looked.
Yes.
But they liked him. I mean, my brother and my dad pick on people relentlessly, but only if they like you.
Yep.
And they picked on Frank all the time.
Yeah.
So it's all right.
So how long were you out in Montana for? This was for your brother's wedding?
We went there all the time.
Okay.
Yeah, we would go all the time for vacation. I mean, from
The horse thing, that was a 10-year class reunion.
yeah.
that
it
we
Oh,
had.
that's right.
Yeah,
Yes,
that
yes,
was
yes.
the class reunion. Yeah.
And that was been the first.
Was that the first time I was there?
I think so. Yeah.
Okay. So then how long after this that you guys go out to Montana and you're officially like, okay, let's date and do the whole thing? Are you like, does it move pretty quickly on to like, okay, you're the one and we're going to do this? Or is it still
No, it
taking
was
some
really
time?
slow. I knew, he didn't know, or he knew, but he just wasn't ready to commit.
Oh, we've got a sad
It was
little
6
puppy
years.
over
We
there.
dated for 6 years before he finally said, "Hey, you want to?"
You got to
And
make
is
sure.
this 6 years combined or is this 6 years after the...
6 years total.
Got it. Okay.
From meeting to marriage.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Well,
Hey, you got to make sure. You
yeah.
Don't want to jump into these things too quickly.
exactly.
Right.
So now you're in your early 30s.
Yep.
Post-class reunion, everything. Well, as you're kind of going through life, when did you move in together?
After we got married.
Okay. And so when did the proposal happen?
Podcast producer Abby checking in here. We are splitting the Vouk's love story into 2 episodes. You just heard part 1 and you will hear part 2 next week.
Thank you for listening to the Love Story Podcast. You can subscribe to the show and you can follow us at the Love Story Podcast on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube. Do you think you have a love story for the ages? Do you think you have a love story that's like a meet cute? Or maybe you just have a regular old love story, but you guys have been together for so long that you don't even remember how you met? We would love to have you on the Love Story Podcast to tell your story. Every love story is unique. Every love story is special. And whether you think you've got a cool story, a funny story, or just a heartwarming story, or just a story of the everyday, regular old love, that's the kind of stuff we want to hear. Reach out at info@lovestoryweddingshow.com and we will schedule a time to get you featured on the Love Couch. If you're not local, we have the capabilities of doing it digitally as well. So don't forget to reach out, info@lovestoryweddingshow.com, or head to the show notes.